Okay, we are going to do one step further now for finding an unknown side of a right angle triangle, but this time it's when you need to find the denominator. So let's start over here, just over to the side here with something not to do with trig. In days gone by, if we had a question 100 divided by x equals 20, how would we solve this? Well, this says 100 divided by x, so the opposite to dividing by x is timesing by x. So we would want to times both sides by x. We have an x on the top and an x on the bottom that would cancel down. So that would give us 100 equals 20 times x. Then how do I get x by itself? Well, it's times by 20. The opposite to timesing by 20 is dividing by 20. So the question becomes x equals 100 divided by 20, which is 5. So when you want to know something on the bottom, or the denominator, because that's what the denominator is, if we want to find out this part, we can go through this long process, or we could look for a little sort of shortcut to get there straight away. And what you'll notice is that the question became x is equal to 100 over 20. So I'll just write that down. So the question was actually x is equal to 100 over 20. So if we look back at the beginning, what can you notice something that you can do, which is a bit of a quick shortcut, and hopefully some of you would see that we could have just switched that 20 with the x to begin with. Okay, so if I was to do a question like this, let's say 40 divided by x gives me 4. Okay, I think we know the answer is 10. I'll pick something nice and easy. But we can just, if we want to find out the x, we can just switch it with the answer. So x becomes 40 divided by 4, which is 10. Okay, so we're going to hold that because we're going to use that over here when we do this question. So here we are. We've got a trig question. We need to find an unknown side. We have to recognize which angle we're looking from, which is which is 58. We have to label our other sides as hypotenuse, opposite, or adjacent. So first of all, opposite the right angle is the hypotenuse. So we're using that because that's x, that's what we're looking for. And the other angle, the other information we're here using is this 19. But the adjacent, it means next to, which is this one over here. So that's not, we're not using the adjacent, we're using the opposite. So then we go over to here and we go over to the SOHCAHTOA and we say, which ratio sine, cos, or tan uses hypotenuse and opposite? So we need an O and an H. So here we go, an O and an H. We're going to be using sine. So we write sine of 58 is opposite, which is 19, over hypotenuse, which is x. And then we go, oh, hang on, look, we've got a problem just like we had up here. We're trying to find a denominator. It's on the bottom. We don't want, it's not the same as the ones we've done before. So we need to think, can we just do a little quick switch up so that we can find our x? So we turn that around and we put the x on the top and we have 19 over sine of 58. And you get your calculator, in degrees, and you go 19 divided by sine of 58. And let's go one decimal place this time, we're going to get 22.4. So that's how long. We don't have units, so we don't have meters or centimeters. It's just because we don't have any in the question. So it's 22.4 units in length. So let's try B, question B. Here's the angle we're looking from. What have we got? So that's the hypotenuse. We're not using the hypotenuse. We don't want the hypotenuse. So that's the hypotenuse, but the other angle next to it, next to angle 27, is adjacent, because adjacent means next to. So we're using that one because that's got the x on it. And therefore we must be using the other one, which is opposite. So go back over here to your SOHCAHTOA. Which one uses opposite and adjacent? So we will need an O and an A. This time the O and the A are on the tan. That's what we're going to use. So we're going to write tan of 27 degrees is equal to opposite, which is 4 over adjacent, which is x. Now, again, we want to do the switch up. You can see there that we've got an x on the bottom. So we want to get it up on the top. We just want to switch it with that we did before. So we put our x here. X is equal to, we leave the 4 where it is, but now we're going to divide by 10, 27. So you get your calculator, make sure you're in degrees, go 4 divided by 10, 27. And we get to 1 decimal place, 7.9, because the 5 rounded up. 7.85 becomes 7.9. And we don't have any units. We don't have whether it's centimeters or meters. That's what we do when we want to find the one that's on the bottom.